All right, I'm going to keep this quick because this isn't about me. In times like these that we're going through, it starts to feel a little overwhelming, like you don't know what to do. I know that's usually, the apathy is the route that I've usually gone, especially in the past 5 years. But there was an instance a few weeks ago before all of this happened, where just outside my window, we've had some troublemakers in our neighborhood who've legitimately been doing unsavory things. And they were in a fight. So we called the police on them, me and a few others. I called the police, and then in 15 seconds I saw the police pulling up. So I step around and I tell the officer on the line, thank you, I think they've got it from here. I step outside, and it turns out that the two parties leave. And there was a third party that I didn't know was involved. And the third party was a black man, a neighbor of mine who lives across the street. And this man looked nothing like the two that I had called in and described. So while those two had walked off, this third party, this gentleman, was already in handcuffs and surrounded by 2 to 3 officers. And a bunch of other cars started pulling up. As it turns out, another neighbor from another complex had called in that third party because apparently he had a gun. Now, apparently this was a gun that he owned legally, and a gun he was using, or maybe not even using, but a gun that had been out for a moment in his own self-defense. Because, as I had mentioned, we have had 2 people who are wandering the neighborhood who may or may not become a threat in the future. Now, of course, the officers completely passed those 2 gentlemen and went straight to our neighbor, this third party. And immediately we all stepped out and were pleading with the officers, let him go, he's done nothing. Unfortunately, the officers had only been called in about that one guy, and the officers that had been called in about the other men, they arrived too late. So the reason I'm saying this, though, is that for once I saw a practical thing right outside my window, a practical situation where I still had the privilege of being able to step indoors. I had the privilege of the officer's benefit of the doubt. Didn't have this really intense beard going on, so I looked as squeaky clean as usual. And it was a little disheartening that I could walk in and out of my house and not worry about it. But as I went to walk back inside, I realized, no. I have to keep going out there and keep telling them that there is something wrong. Now, this is not a story about me or my heroics, and quite frankly, I'm not really going to respond to any comments down below that say, wow, good for you. The point is, as a cynic, as someone who has flirted with apathy, I saw an opportunity where I needed to step forward, and this was like the bottom. It was like the least, it was the least I could do. But myself and the others, we stepped out there and we continued to plead with the officers. We told them, we counted as much as we could and let them know, you have the wrong gentleman. This guy has been nothing but good to us, and if you arrest him, it's completely unfair and unjust. It took about 30 minutes, but they let this man go. The point is, they probably wouldn't have had it not been for us. So that's the question I ask for you. When things go out, when things are happening outside your front window, what are you going to do? Are you going to step in? Are you going to speak up? Or are you just going to let it pass by?